Alright, hey everybody. Stumpjumper here. I'm going to talk about today my two favorite knots. These are the only knots that I've ever used in the entire time that I've been fishing for largemouth bass. They're strong. One's for monofilament and then one is for the braid. So I'm just going to demonstrate how I tie those knots on two of my setups. This is my St. Croix Bass X rod paired up with a Quantum Energy. Really nice setup, and I've got 10-pound monofilament on this. It's actually a fluorocarbon. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut off. I got the whopper plopper going here. I'm hoping you can see the line. You might not be able to see it. I'll try and move closer to the camera. Let me get some extra line off here. And let's get this here. Got it pretty loose. Okay. Just back that up there. Let's see if I can move in close to the camera. Show you this technique. So it's really the fisherman's knot or a clinch knot, whatever you want to call it. But it really works well on monofilament because monofilament has some give to it and stretch. And this gives you really good strength for most conditions. On a lure this size, I usually give it about 8 turns. Sometimes on lighter line I'll give it more turns, but 8 turns should do the trick. So it's pretty straightforward. So you can see I've threaded it through. Gotta hold it here. See how I have my finger holding like that. That gives me a chance, that right there with my finger through, that holds the loop on the bottom. And then I just twist it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 twists. Because I have my finger through it, now I have the hole there. Then what I do is I just take the end, feed it through the bottom. Here's the trick. Bring it back up through that loop. And you can grab it with your index and your thumb. And then sometimes I get it wet just to give it some good lubrication there, and then it'll just go right down. Make sure that that loop is snug, and then just pull it tight, and you've got yourself a really good clinch knot. I'll just trim off the tag here, make it look nice and clean. That is not going to break. Looks good. You could probably get a good look at it. That's an 8 twist on a lure this size, which is perfect. Nice knot. I will use this on just about any lure I throw on monofilament, whether it's a topwater plug, a crankbait, a Texas rigged worm, Ned rig. It works on anything, but it's easy to tie, and it gives you really good strength. So that's the monofilament knot I use. Banging into all my stuff. Tight quarters here in the garage. So that's that. And then the other knot is for braid. So this is my flipping rig here. Fishing the, this is a 7'10" KVD, heavy action, and then I've got a nice Garcia bait caster on the end there, and I got 65-pound test braid on here. So that requires a different knot. You can't use that clinch knot on a braid. You got to use a polymer knot. The braid will not really work with a twist with that clinch knot. So you got to use a polymer knot. So I'll show you how to tie that. Let me just trim this off. It's always a pain cutting these things off. There you go. So this is just a little flip and jig here. Let me clean up the end of this braid. My clippers are getting dull, as you can see, but we'll make it work. Okay. So there. So there's your braid. Hopefully you can see it. 65-pound test braid. It is spider wire. Sorry, it's 50-pound. I was wrong. 50-pound spider wire, ultra cast, using that on this setup, which is really all you need to horse them out of the junk. Okay, so for a polymer knot, it's a little different. So basically here, just take a stretch line. I usually overcompensate, and then I fold it like that, kind of back on itself. Has that little loop. Make sure you see you have enough extra. It's probably about a foot there. Some people don't use as much, but for me it just makes it easier. And then you feed that loop through like that. So now it's sitting there, you got the double loop. So what the trick on this one is, you tie an over-under on it, gives you that. Then you have to open up this loop here, feed your lure back through that loop. Okay? Looks kind of messy, but trust me. Pull it down, and then you want to get this extra pulled snug against the edge, and then you can pull this all the way down tight. There you go, it's all in there. And then I'll trim off the tag on this one again, just so it's not in the way. Make sure you cut the tag and not the line. I've done that a million times. Frustrating. I really do need to get some sharper clippers. There you go. Polymer knot on a braid. Super strong. Super strong. That's going to work in just about any condition on any lure, especially on a heavier braid like this. Gives you really solid, strong knot, which really is the foundation of good fishing. If you don't have a good knot, forget it. You're just going to be retying or being frustrated when you're breaking off fish instead of catching them. So, I hope that helps. You may have your own favorite knot, but those are the two knots. Those are my two favorite knots, and the only two I ever use for all of my bass fishing, and even other types of freshwater fishing. So anyways, good luck, tight lines, and I'll see you next time.